Hi guys, good morning. Good morning. This is Melissa McCarthy coming to you live from New Jersey. Hope everybody's having a good week. I forgot how nerve-wracking this is, sorry. So I wanted to come today live and train with you guys on the power of events. It's kind of fitting that doing this today because, well, I planned it that way, because we have our Trifecta event in New Jersey tonight. And when I was kind of preparing for this Periscope, I was really reflecting on what this looked like. You know, I've been in the business almost 5 years, and events were always really a big part of how we grew this New York, New Jersey market so quickly. And we started doing events, about 4.5 years ago. So, I kind of wanted to go back in time and think about that. And for any of you who ever have walked into a big event and you've thought to yourself, oh my gosh, could I pull something like this off? Would anybody show up? Would this be valuable to my business? Is this worth my time? Want to let you know, we did not think so either. When we started, we were looking for a way to engage people, a way to have another reason to invite people to learn about the opportunity. When I started the business, I was living in Hoboken, I was working in New York City, and eventually I moved out to northern New Jersey. So, New York City and the surrounding towns are arguably one of the most skeptical places in the country. So we really came together, the local leaders, we came together and we wanted to create an experience for people. Get rid of that skeptics and the preconceived notions of what they thought that this industry looked like, who they thought were doing this business, what they thought the business looked like, what they thought that it was that we did. So, that's why we wanted to start doing our events. If you are really good at engaging people, connecting in person, on the phone, that's amazing. You will be very successful in this business, but not everybody learns the same way. And what we were finding in our market was that sometimes people really wanted to see it to believe it. So that's when we decided that we were going to start doing events. And of course, over the years, they got bigger, we tweaked them, but events for you can look however you want them to. The main thing that you want to keep in mind is that you are a brand. Stephanie Gittleman did an amazing training a couple days ago on branding. You are a brand, but your event should also be a reflection of your brand, who you're looking to attract. As the company gets bigger, corporate, there definitely are a lot of markets that already have a presence. It's inevitable that, as we continue to grow, there's going to be a stronger presence in some markets than others. If you are in a market that already has a strong presence and there's leadership there, and say maybe corporate comes in and they do these big formal presentations, that's great. You have that as a way to engage your prospects if you think that they would be attracted to that. If that's not attractive to you and that's not who you think what you and your network would want to go and participate in, then you have the opportunity to create your own type of an event, create your own brand. What would be attractive to your network, and who are you looking to attract? Consistency with events are honestly the key, because when you are out and about, yes, you always want to do your daily IPAs. You always want to be having conversations, but sometimes we hit these roadblocks and we don't know how to take it to the next step. We don't, maybe people don't want to get on the phone with you and your business partner. Maybe people, think it's silly or weird or different to dial into an opportunity call or a webinar or something like that. I mean, we know that they're unbelievably valuable tools, but this concept of social commerce and how we do what we do, it is so foreign to so many people. But what if you were to throw another element in the mix and were able to say to somebody, hey, why don't you just come and meet me and some of my business partners? I'll buy you a cocktail. We're going to do a quick presentation, learn about these products, learn about what we're doing. You know, very easy breezy. If you had something like that on the calendar all the time, it would gain traction. It definitely would. So, you know, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do events. You can plug into a corporate event if they're already going on in your area. You can create your own events and, you know, highlight your local leaders. Tell your story. Tell it in a way that, you know, feels true to you, who you're looking to attract. You can do something super casual. You can have coffee and conversation. You can have cocktails and conversations where maybe there isn't a formal structure, but, you know, you share your stories and you weave in and out the doctor stories and the stories about this company and who we are and where we're going and what we've done and what our plans are. You know, or you can just get a couple of your girlfriends or a couple of your prospects to, you know, sit on your couch and you know, put something up on your TV or just talk about it. However you want to do it, the whole point of events and the whole point is to be able to invite people to something. It's a tool of engagement. You know, back when we started, my goodness, I mean, we couldn't get anybody to come. You know, now we get a couple hundred people in a room consistently all the time. But, you know, 5 years ago when we were getting this off the ground, it did not look like this. We did not look like this. We were, you know, new and nervous and didn't know what we were saying or what was going on. But we got stronger with practice. And we started really gaining traction with our networks and in our communities. And in the beginning, you know, it was really very difficult because our first event, I want to say, maybe had 3 people, and it was discouraging, but we knew that that was not going to always be if we stayed the course. So we also were sort of looking for places where people were interested. So we didn't just stay to where we lived. In the beginning, Lori Cardella and I, we were traveling all over the place. We were going into the city once a month with Miriam Steckety and Melissa Darnell and Lisa Frizzell and trying to build that market. We were going up to Connecticut. We went down the Jersey Shore. We were just looking for leaders, looking for people who were interested in this opportunity. And eventually, you know, leaders emerged and then they started doing their own events, and then we were able to pull back a little bit and kind of just focus on our home market so we didn't have to travel so much. But it was a labor of love for a good year, probably 2 years, until we got enough interest in different markets. Another thing that maybe you know about me, maybe you don't know about me, is that I had an unbelievable fear of public speaking. It was so debilitating that, you know, our first presentation, I had notes, I was shaking like a leaf, I think I might have thrown up. It was horrible, but the truth was, I knew that we needed to get this off the ground. I knew that we needed to attract people, and there, you know, we could only get 2 people to even come and look at it, let alone get somebody, you know, a lot of people to come up and do the presentation. So I had to practice, and I had to do it afraid, and I had to get better at talking about the business and perfecting my story and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I will tell you, at the time, it was really difficult for me, and I hated every second of it. But over the years and over the months, the more I practiced, the better I got, the more comfortable I was. And that translated to how I talked about the business every single day. So I had spent so much time perfecting the word choices that I used and how I articulated the business and how I talked about the doctors and how I told my story in a way that was comfortable and true to me, and that would translate as to if I was at a birthday party or a bridal shower and somebody was asking me what I did, boom, I could just say it because I was so used to saying it in a way that sounded like me. So that was a really big part for me. You know, if you're not doing events and you're considering it, I want to really manage your expectations. You have to be consistent. You have to start somewhere, and you have to be true to your brand and what you're looking to do. You know, Lori Cardella and I, when we started these right from the beginning, we we're very much on the same page that we wanted it to be an experience for people and a reflection of who we were and who we were looking to attract. So being totally honest, there were a lot of we chose our venue and we chose how we did our presentations based on that and tried to be really true and on brand. There were many times where we took a hit on that night, where we didn't collect even nearly enough money from consultants that we're plugging in to cover the cost. Sometimes we still don't. But the truth is that we've always looked at this as the bigger picture, and we never nickel and dime the business. We never once, say the event costs $500 and we collected $200 from the consultants, and we enrolled one business partner that night that was in our 4th generation, and at 5% we really made absolutely no money. We never looked at it like that, because it wasn't like that. It wasn't, I hired a sitter and I did this and I spent all this money and this is what I made that night. This business is not like that, and if you look at this business like that, you are going to be very disappointed, and you're not going to stay in it long enough to see what happens when you gain the momentum, because that's truly the sweet spot. We talk all the time how this is a 3 to 5 year plan. It's 100% a 3 to 5 year plan, and everything that you do, every effort that you make, it all takes time to really come to fruition. So I like to manage people's expectations when you're looking to start an event. You're not gonna pop, a flyer up in Starbucks and have an event and 300 people are gonna come. It's not gonna happen, but you have to start somewhere. And the beauty of it is that you get to decide what that looks like. So, there's the corporate presentation that you can find in Pulse. You can have something very conversational. You can plug into existing events that are always going on. For us in New Jersey, we've always made our events open. Whether you're on our team, not on our team, in our downlines, whatever the case may be, these events are always open because we really believe that, that's really the nature of our business. I would love to be able to welcome somebody's prospect or consultant that lives in California in the hopes that they have the same mindset. And if I'm building a team in California, they would, know that we do that here, and they would, welcome our consultant with open arms. It's just how we've always kind of hosted our events. The thing with people, and we talk about it all the time, we had Courtney did the great scope yesterday on the power of follow-up. This is another tool that you can use to follow up with people. And bringing somebody to an event, that's awesome. You might not close them that night. That's okay. It's just another touch. It's another way to get them in the room, get them excited, and expose them. I've heard so many stories where people finally come to an event and they look around, they're like, oh my gosh, I know that woman over there. I didn't realize that she works full time. I didn't realize that she was involved in your business. Or I know that woman, she's my neighbor, she's got 5 children. I never thought she would have been interested in this business. Or, there's so many preconceived notions. And when you get people live and surround them with like-minded people who are driven and excited and just really so energetic about what we do, then you'd be very surprised at how their mindset changes. One of my favorite stories, I'm gonna shout her out right now, is Hannah Fisher. RFX, she trained last week, RFX Circle Hannah Fisher. Her sister, Rachel Braunschweiger, Elite Level 5. Rachel, she literally dragged Hannah to one of our events a couple years ago, and Hannah says to Rachel, I'm not interested in that whatsoever. I'm just gonna sit at the bar upstairs, and when you're done with your work thing, come up and we'll go to dinner. And Rachel was like, no way. I need you to listen to these stories. I need you to listen to what these girls have to say, so that if you're not interested, you can help me build my business, because I am going big with this. And Hannah came to the presentation, and I love Hannah so much, and she knows this. And she sat like this with like the poker face on that girl, my gosh, I was like, Rachel, your sister hates us. She's like, no, she doesn't hate us. I'm like, she hates us. I'm like, she wants nothing to do with this. And you know, the way the story goes is that she left that night and she called Rachel in the morning and she's like, I want to be your first business partner. I was really inspired and I think that I can do this. And I mean, had there not been something in place like that, who's to know that would, you know, when Hannah was visiting from Florida, who knows what would have happened. But I love that story, and it's just, you know, it just really goes to show how powerful these events can truly be. Our events now have really gained a lot of, you know, we've taken them to the next level, because we've been doing them for so long, and you know, we're always finding ways to enhance the experience and to bring more value. So with our Trifecta, if anybody isn't familiar with it, we you know, we have a registration, we open it up for 30 minutes of mingling. We've got a beautiful venue, nice cocktails, slideshows, fun music, lights are dim, everybody gets dressed. It's really, really a fun night. And then at 8 o'clock, there's 2 different presentations, and you break. You can either go into one room and learn about the business, you can go into the other room and learn about the products, and at the end, you have the choice to enroll as a consultant or become a PC, and then you come back for a jumpstart training. So not only do you have the opportunity to you know, come and check out the business and the products and see what's going on, but if you decide to be a consultant that night, then you can walk out of that room having just had a jumpstart training from some of our amazing leaders and know exactly what to do with that business. We've even more recently implemented a level 5 happy hour leading up to the events. So our 5s come at 6 o'clock, a full hour and a half before the doors even open, and we have like dinner, appetizers, we collaborate, there's a training, there's an agenda, and we really just get together. And then when all the guests come, you know, sometimes as a leader, for any leaders that are listening to this, it gets really overwhelming sometimes when the doors open and your teams walk in and your prospects walk in, and you know, we've made so many friends in this business that you want to see your friends and you want to talk to them, but let's be clear, this is a night to work. So we kind of created this level 5 happy hour for us to really collaborate as leaders before the prospects get there, before it's time to open up the doors. And so far so good. We've, you know, really been enjoying it. So the thing that's most important about the events, once you decide what they look like, once you create that culture that you want it to be, who you're looking to attract, staying true to that, once you do that and you get people through the door, the key is following up. You know, that's how you're going to pull people through your funnel, and that's how you're going to really grow. That's how you're really going to grow your market. So I feel like I had so much more to talk about, but that's really the gist of the events. For anybody in New Jersey, I hope to see you guys tonight, but I really hope that if you're not currently using them, you find a way to use them and really, really, you know, just use this as a way to create the culture of your business, the culture of your team, who you're trying to attract, and you know, I wish you guys the best of luck, and we're here for you. And oh, if anybody's looking to duplicate Trifecta, in Team Amped Up, I posted the 3 different presentations. So if anybody, you can just do like the search and you can find them. So the presentations are there if anybody wanted to do the Trifecta. And sometimes we periscope our presentations on the RFXperienc sometimes, so you can get a little window into that. But all right, enough about me. Thank you guys for dialing in. I hope you're loving these daily RF experiences. I'm loving them. Thank you to all our leaders that participate, and you know, we love you guys. Thanks so much. See you later. Bye.